If you're trading any football match on Betfair, one of the most crucial pieces of information that any trader worth his salt should know is the starting prices of the teams involved. If you don't know what they are, you're already at a huge disadvantage when you're trading the match. But what if you didn't note down the starting prices at the start of the match, or you're just joining a match late? I'm going to show you a quick trick that can help you accurately identify the correct starting prices. Go grab a nice cold beer or a pina colada and let's get into it. And so there might be some who are new to sports trading who are a little bit confused about this and wondering why starting prices are actually important, especially if you're going to be trading in play, and why starting prices actually matter. Now, it is vitally important because of this fact. The starting prices will determine the in-play prices. This is an indisputable fact about how the football markets work. Okay, the in-play prices follow a set model, which I explained in more detail in a recent video. Link should be on the screen if you want to check that out and understand that further. But they will follow a set model, which is determined by what the starting prices were. And so if you can also know what the starting prices were, you can plan your own trading and your own strategies accordingly. And it's so important that, for me, it's actually shocking that people will enter a market in play and trade it without any clue as to what the starting prices were. Some people don't even look. They're not even bothered at all. I mean, I literally overheard someone say that to him, he didn't care what the starting prices were, only the currently available prices were what mattered, since apparently the starting prices were in the past, and what is in the past doesn't matter anymore.
You're living in the past, Marge. Quit living in the past.
But I can categorically tell you it is hugely important information, and I would go as far as saying you should never enter any market, never put any money into any market until you have checked what the starting price was. Okay, I'm going to list a few other reasons why you would want to know the starting prices. Like I said, to plan your strategies, okay? Because if you know what the starting prices were, you can usually identify roughly where those prices will move in certain situations, okay? If you have no clue what the starting price was, then you are just guessing. You're just putting your money into the market and hoping for the best. But at the same time, it can also help you spot suspicious movement, okay? If a team started the match at 1.4 and they've taken the lead and they're winning 1-0, and now their price is 1.8,
I don't know. I think that's a bit dodgy, mate.
well, it's a little bit suspicious. And you might want to avoid getting involved in that match, okay? But also, knowing the starting prices will also help you take the correct prices. Similarly to above, if you backed a team at 1.4 and they score a goal and then they just move into, say, 1.35 or something like that, initially, which can happen when the markets are resetting, well, by knowing the starting prices, you'll know that that is not the correct price. And if you just wait a few minutes, it's probably going to move to its correct price. But this will help you avoid that typical newbie mistake, okay? And now you can get an idea of why knowing the starting prices are so important, okay? And it's so quick and easy to find out. But, you know, yeah, how do you find the starting prices? Well, you could note it down manually before every match. That is an option. There used to be a function within Betfair which would just tell you what the starting prices were, but that is notably unreliable, not just for actually displaying, but also for the actual accuracy of it. But so you kind of have to identify it in play most of the time, especially if you are an in-play football trader, because you're going to be moving around lots of different matches. And so it's not really realistic to note down the starting prices of every single match manually. So you're better off getting involved in a market and then identifying it by looking closely at the market. And that is what I'm going to be showing you right now. And this can be very useful to do, especially if you're using something like the football trading simulator and you've turned up and you want to trade a match, say 60 minutes in. Well, yeah, you're going to have to find the starting prices somehow. And I'm going to show you how you can do that with a quick trick in this video right now. I'm going to head over to the Betfair markets and show you how to do it. But before we do that, I would really love if you could smash the like button to support the channel. If you like this sort of content, if you think that what I'm showing you in this video is going to help you in some way, then a quick press of the like button to show your support helps us to keep going. Press the like button, take a sip of your pina colada and let's check it out. So as you can see, we're 18 minutes into this match from the Bundesliga. It's Werder Bremen 0, Wolfsburg 1. And you can see that currently Wolfsburg 1.28, Werder Bremen 14.5, and a draw at 6.2. So you might, for whatever reason, want to know what the starting prices were in this match, and then you could plan accordingly. It is pretty important information, okay? Because if Wolfsburg are 1.28, but their starting price was 1.5, well, something's wrong. Something's not adding up. Not that you would ever really see that scenario. However, it's always important to get an idea of the starting prices if you haven't noted them down already. So let's just bring up the chart. We'll show you how to work it out. Now, the tricky part with this is that you might initially look right at the start of the chart and think that that is the starting price, okay, which would probably make it around 2.06. However, that is actually when the market first opened, okay? So there was a lot of money turned over before the match actually went in play. But what we're trying to identify is the starting price, okay? But we can see that this price early on was pretty much between 2.0 and 1.9. So we got an idea that our starting price is probably gonna be within that range right there. And for some people that might be enough. That might just be the information that you're looking for. You might just want to know, hey, okay, Wolfsburg started around that price, around 2.0, around 1.9. Now I've got an idea of the starting price, okay? And if I was to lay them now, they're probably going to go back to around 2.0 if they can see the goal. So you can plan out your trades accordingly from there. But if you really, really wanted to try and narrow it down, and it's not an exact science, but we know that the range was between 2.0 and 9. So we would come over to the right side and we would look at the money which has been traded already, okay? This is the far right column to see what has been traded. And what we're going to look for is the amount, the highest amount that has been traded. And that will tell us what the starting price was, okay? And in this case, it looks like the highest amount that has been traded was 1.88. So it's reasonable to assume that the starting price for this was 1.88, or pretty close. If it wasn't that, it could have been 1.89, it could have been 1.9 or 1.87. But we've narrowed it down to at least 4 ticks there. It wasn't likely to be 1.91, wasn't likely to be 1.86, okay? Now, the main idea as well of trying to narrow down at least the range is because if you are using something like the football trading simulator, then the more accurate your starting price is, then the more accurate it's going to run the model through the match. However, don't be fooled by if this match did kick off in that moment and Wolfsburg's price was just 1.85 in that moment, because it doesn't necessarily mean that the market has registered that as the starting price. It's usually going to measure this number, the one with the most money match, as the starting price, and it's going to base the model on that, okay? So that's what you need to think about mostly when you are just trying to identify the starting prices, okay? It's not necessarily the price which was there available at the start of the match. You have to kind of get an idea of what price had the most money turned over right at the start of the match. In this case, it was definitely more likely to be 1.88 that the markets are forming their in-play prices on, rather than 1.86. Definitely not 1.85. Okay, so it's not an exact science, but it is a very good way of identifying the starting price from Betfair in play. Bayern Munich running rampant in this one, 3-0 up at the moment. So I have to be quick, I guess, to kind of show you this example. So let's just say we were looking at the 3.5 goals market and we wanted to know what was the starting price on under 3.5 goals. Okay, so if we bring up the chart on this now, because the prices have gone so high, it's actually a lot harder to identify. And at first glance, you might think that it was a 2.5 starting price because the chart has kind of zoomed out. However, that's why it's very important to then just scroll to the right and just see where the most money was traded in around that price range of, what was it, 2.5. Okay, so 2.5 actually, if we look closely, only around £300 was matched on it. Now, just looking around this range, it looks like the most money was turned over at this number, 2.36, 5k turned over, and all the other prices suspiciously only a grand traded on those prices. So if we wanted to identify the starting price in this one, it looks like it was 2.36 for under 2.5 goals, and that kind of shows by just looking at the chart is not so accurate, especially when that chart gets bigger, because you couldn't really work that out from there. Okay, so that is even, you know, just shows even more importantly why you should be looking at the traded amounts in order to identify starting prices. So I hope that quick tip has helped you out, and remember to use this next time you're in the market. Always check the starting prices. And if this quick tip has helped you out and you didn't do it earlier, then maybe now you could press the like button to support the channel. And if you are interested in actually learning football trading strategies, then do check out my free strategy class that is not available on YouTube, but the link to that is in the description of this video. In there I give you a sneak peek at all the football trading strategies that are working for me, alongside real life demonstrations, including of those trades you can see on the screen right now. Okay, this is free also, and the link should be down below. Lots for you to get stuck into. Remember, this strategy class is not on YouTube. Okay, so you have to check out that link and then click through and then check that out. Anyway, this video was just a taster of what else is available on this very channel. There should be 2 videos on the screen right now that are definitely worth checking out. So if you want to keep watching and you want to keep learning, check out one of those videos. Just click on them and I will see you there. Okay, see you in the next video.